Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Rev G. I'm here every Monday night on WEMS radio from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm your host, Reverend Grenetta Mason, aka Reverend G, and I'm here every Monday night to share with you spiritual conversations. My guests, we talk about spirituality, we talk about current events. We try to leave you with something that inspires you that you can take away. I have exciting guests from all walks of life, and I'm really excited that I get to share with people from different careers, from different backgrounds, men, women, young people, and it really excites me that I get to share. If you want to know more about what I'm doing, you can follow me on Instagram as Rev Grenetta and also on YouTube and Facebook as Reverend Grenetta Mason. What I'd like to share with you is that I'm here to support you in finding joy and living your best life with grace and ease. And I like to take spirituality and look at it from a practical point of view. How can it support us in everyday life? There's so much going on, so I want you to walk away with some spiritual tools that you can use to support you. And tonight, Cam Givings is my guest. And Cam is a CEO of Pilot Light Coaching. She's also the owner of a hair salon, and she does so many other things. And I'm just so excited that Cam is on the show tonight. Hey, Cam.
Hi, Granada. How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm excited to have you here. It's been really great, having people come to the show from just different backgrounds and people that are just doing a lot of different things. So I'm so excited that you'll get to share what you're doing. And so introduce yourself, to the people.
Well, first, I want to just compliment your dress. I think I have a dress just like yours. Great minds think alike. So
right.
So, I own a hair salon in New Jersey, West Orange, and I've had it now for about 17 years. And so in that, I have empowered women to make career changes and help them with how their hair can help them with their career changes, and even uplifted them in the career they're in. There have been women who I've always empowered women. And so because of that, I wanted to go, full force with my coaching because I see the impact it has on women. And so that's the direction I'm headed in now, and more so to empower women to understand that they're not just a mother. They're just not a wife. They're just not a wife. They're just not the person that people think they are in this moment. There are so many other things that they are and can do and can create. And so that's what I'm empowering them to do. And that's where I'm going with my coaching. So I'm a leadership strategist, empowering women to create their life.
Well, that's nice because you know how we always talk about the person doing your hair, you're always telling them your story. So as a owner of a salon, and I'm sure you've talked to many women, right? How you just developed that into a business in a way that you can support women. And I'm sure you've been doing it for 17 years. So it's interesting, that it started there and now you're moving towards having it be a business. And that's really cool. And one of the things that I find interesting is at this time, I know that a lot of people and women in general are looking to be entrepreneurs, right? And COVID has caused sort of that shift in what what we're looking to do, how we're living our lives, and all of that. Can you
Yeah.
talk about the impact of COVID? You've been in the business 17 years and then COVID hit. Can you talk about the impact that that had on you as an entrepreneur?
So, thank God the salon is still thriving,
Mm,
but it has empowered my shift,
mm,
understanding the direction I get to shift people in.
okay.
And so in this time of pandemic, I learned so much in regards to digital marketing and understanding a systematic way of creating profits. So my goal is to create your purpose to profits.
Mhm.
So
Mm,
yeah,
okay.
that's what the pandemic did for me. It gave me a new direction. Although
Okay.
I am still in the salon, I love doing what I do, right? I
Mhm,
love empowering women and I still do that. But
mhm,
also now I can give them a direction.
mm,
I give them a
mhm, mhm,
strategy. And so
mhm,
I'm
mhm,
very clear what the strategy is. And so
mhm, mhm,
that's what I got out of the pandemic.
mhm. You survived through it, and through all of it, it gave you that time to
Right.
put that strategy together. I know you were creating a master class. What would that master class look like?
So I'm creating
What
two
would,
master class. One is with Dr. Shanna, and the other is with what I'm doing. And so our master class together
mhm,
is saying yes to you. When you
mhm,
have said yes to you, uh, you have gotten yourself into committed action through the strategies to KIM. And what are the strategies to KIM? The strategies to
mhm,
KIM are understanding what forgiveness is, understanding what letting go is, and understanding what allowing yourself grace is to let go, right?
mhm, mhm,
I go more in depth about that so that we can
mhm,
be in committed action. Now,
mhm,
my separate masterclass is now that you've gotten to the point of saying yes to you,
mhm,
now let's get to purpose, your purpose, because that's what we're getting you to, your purpose.
mhm,
So
mhm.
my masterclass will be your purpose to profits,
Okay. Okay.
right? And so
Mhm,
now we're understanding what you have, you're an expert at. And
mhm,
guess what? You
mhm,
can create profits from your purpose. I have
mhm.
students now and they're just so excited about what they're doing now. So I'm getting them to their workshop, their masterclass. And so we all have an expertise and I'm
Mhm,
pulling that out of you.
mhm. So, what would you say are some of the blocks that keep us from getting to that purpose? Because it's great. You say, like, I could get you from purpose to profit. So, how do we get to that purpose? And what are some of the things that, because everybody want to know, why am I here? What is my purpose?
I know. So, and that's what say yes to you is all about.
Okay.
A lot of times we haven't allowed ourselves grace. What does allow ourselves grace? I just want to
Yeah,
thank
what does
Dr.
that mean?
Sunrise
Yeah.
if she is on. Dr. Sunrise, she challenges me, and I love that. And I love that about her.
Mhm,
When you allow yourself grace, right?
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
you're understanding. You just finished forgiving, letting go. Now let's create permission, right, to
mhm,
start a new story. A lot of
mhm,
times we think we forgive, we think we've let go, but no, we're still holding on to a story that can be changed any day,
mhm,
right? We
mhm.
can change a story in a moment,
Right.
but we
Absolutely.
still hold on to what happened last week or last
Mhm,
summer.
mhm,
And we hold on to those things and it prevents us from setting intentions.
okay. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Yeah. So that's
mhm,
that's what holds us back. Not
mhm,
not allowing ourselves grace. Knowing you have the permission to change the story.
mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what holds us back. Not
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
feeling like we can
And
change the
and
story.
so as a part of this, it sounds really good because it's exciting. Oh, say yes to me, to myself, because we don't take care of ourselves as much as at all. We're generally really taking care of others, right? So I like the idea of starting with saying yes
To you.
to
Mhm.
you,
Right,
right?
right, right,
So,
right.
so I like that whole idea of putting yourself first when generally we don't,
We
right?
don't. As Black women, just as Black women, we're always martyrs, right? We're always putting ourselves last. You know, our husbands, our children's work, activities for the children, and we forget to check in on ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. I know you are a mother also, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's like many, many hats that wear that you wear and balancing all of that, And so sometimes I think about we say, okay, so I'm gonna create this great new workshop or this coaching activity, to get women to move to the next level. One of the things I think about is like with so much going on, you're a mother, you're a wife, you have a job, you have all those things. Really getting the message to people that balancing all of that can come from some coaching around taking care of yourself, right?
Absolutely,
Being able
absolutely.
to like put down a lot of that. Because as you said, we have this vision of being super women that we could do it all, right? And we have
Forget
to run
about
around and do it all, right?
it.
Right. And it's just refreshing to think that, because I always say grace and ease, right?
Yeah.
And I love that because we're always thinking that we got to go, we got to be on it, on it, on it, always, right? But and I don't mean ease where you're not getting things done, but you can't be all of everything,
You,
right?
you,
And
you
so,
know, and a lot of times we forget to ask for support.
yeah, absolutely.
We
That's
so I kind of remind folk, hey, listen, you know, you gotta know that support is around. You have to know this.
Mhm,
So I always encourage people to ask, just ask,
mhm,
you know,
mhm,
because we forget that we don't have to do it all. We don't have
mhm,
to do it all. We can ask for support. I saw a saying, you can get far together. No, by yourself, you can get there fast. Together, we can get there far. I love
yeah,
that. I
right,
love that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it is interesting, the whole idea of asking for support.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think
So
that
important.
a lot of us were taught that or raised in that way, right? If
Absolutely
because
not.
if
No,
we're so
absolutely
used
not.
to getting it done, right? You are
Right.
like, I got this, right?
Right.
You-
I remember I remember one time my son, he, was trying to do everything by himself, when he started his studio and wanted to get a couple things just started up.
Mhm,
And he's like, I need to get this and I need to get that. I'm like, well, did you ask anybody for help?
mhm,
Dad and I are here. I mean,
mhm,
it's great that you want to be independent, but until you can be independent and we see
mhm.
that you're trying to help yourself, I think asking for support is so awesome.
Yeah, it is.
When
It
you
is.
ask for support, it's a mindset of abundance. When you ask for help, it's already telling the universe, I don't think it's there.
Mhm,
When you know that
mhm,
support is out there,
mhm.
that means abundance is around you.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like the whole idea of just shifted from me when you said abundance is around you, and I'm really about the law of attraction and the energy and I always say like your life is a direct reflection of the thoughts that you keep, right?
Absolutely.
And you can check in and see where if this is going on, what thoughts led to that, right? So when you talk
It all
about
starts with a
abundance,
thought. It all starts with a thought.
exactly. You talk about abundance, it makes me think about, creating that abundance. And even when I look at your program and what you're doing for women, right?
Right.
It's using that whole mindset,
Yeah.
the whole mindset thing
Right.
of what your thoughts are, right? It seems like it goes like, what are you thinking? Set your intentions, right?
Right.
Pay
And more importantly, I want to create a community, right, where they are
Yeah.
all trusting each other, right?
Yeah.
There's this not genre, but there's this air out here that women can't be trusted, women can't be supportive. That's not true. And I don't believe that. And so when I bring women together, I'm creating a community.
Yeah. And people love community. When I was thinking about whether like one-on-one coaching versus group coaching, I like the idea of community group because it's much richer because you get the feedback from the group, and people just love communities. I have these little tribes that are thriving, but it's so beautiful because of community.
Yes.
And
Community is so powerful.
Community is really powerful. So I like the idea of creating those communities for people to join.
Yes. And that's what and in my coaching, I'm creating a community, a tribe of women who want to be supported, want to support, and just really want to support each other.
Lately, so now that we have Kamala in as the vice president, have you seen a shift in Black women in setting new goals or being excited about achieving new things? Have you seen a shift? Because I think about
I have. I've been seeing a lot more women create communities and empowering each other, which is so amazing. So amazing.
Because it brings me back to when you were saying something about how women, I think there's like different schools of thought, I would say. Because I feel that when the tribes that I've created, women have gotten together and they are supporting each other. And it really is about empowering each other and being with each other. So more and more of that kind of support I can see happening, right? And that's why the shift is I see just more opening up for us. I hope, because I've been here a long time.
I would like to go live more on Facebook. I'm a techie in training, right? That's what I call myself, a techie in training. And I would love to go live more. I am just trying to figure it all out, right? And so I even coach to myself when it comes to reach for support. I can't do it all by myself either. And so I have my friend Chad, who's a credit coach, who's helping me. And so I would love to go live more to, create more community. So it's coming. I just want to be able to have a call to action, and everything is the way I know it should be in regards to my coaching company and how I want to see it run. Yeah. So,
okay. All
in
right.
regards to, community, I still have students. I have a group of women who are my students now. And I'm doing it on a small scale right now because I want to perfect how I want to teach my course after my master class. And so this has given me a lot of practice. So this even having the students that I have now is still support for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's really good. I like
Yeah.
that you are creating those communities, and it's great. When you said you want to go Facebook Live, I was like, okay, go Facebook
Yeah.
Live, just go, right?
I
Isn't it
just,
just like push the button and go live? Right? I
I
thought
just,
I was like, oh, you have so much to say and so much to share, right? Just
I
go
do. And
live, right?
I just, and I get so caught up in my world. So yes, I even coach to myself when it comes to support.
Mm, that's funny. So
Yeah,
if a part of your strategy would be to support women in starting their business. As a business owner, what tips could you give to women who are interested in starting their own business? You say you have a strategy for them that you put together?
I do. And so there's one tip I have, one
Mhm,
that's very powerful.
mhm,
On Instagram and Facebook, it's like renting property.
mhm,
But if we put something together to capture emails, it's like owning our home.
mm,
And once we understand how to do that, we then have the clientele that wants to hear from us because they
mm.
opted in to hear from us. And so
Really
I
email.
think that is the most important part of creating your own online business, is creating your email capture in a way that you could then now, share what you know with that
Mhm,
particular audience, because they've opted in, so they want to hear more. So it's so important to have your own email list and to
mm.
start with that.
Mhm. It's because there's so many businesses out there,
Yeah,
right?
but you know what? There is, and it's so crazy. I saw a funny, TikTok, and
But-
the phrase was, oh, somebody's already doing that, and you saw all of these cereal boxes with the same name but different colors. I want to say it was about maybe 75 cereal boxes, and all these companies are successful, but those other companies are doing it too. And so guess what? Hey, I'm going to be out there too.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's enough for everybody. But when you
There's enough for
said that,
everybody.
I was just thinking about on Facebook and Instagram how you're just so bombarded with so many people and so many things, right? It's like, and so when you said that, that's why it was interesting for me. But yeah, I think email is really good too.
Yeah,
It's great. I
if
like that.
you have a system where you're capturing email, which I think is so important, it's like owning your home. Facebook
Mm,
and Instagram and TikTok, it's fun, it's temporary, it's like renting
mhm,
your property. But if you
mhm.
have emails, you can then cater to your clients and the clients that actually want to hear from you.
So you could blast out on social media, but capture emails.
Yes, yes.
Set up ways to get people to share their emails with you.
Yes. There's a program that happens with, and it goes into an email capture, and now you have all their emails. And so, hey, listen, if you want to find more information about that, I'm here. pilotlightplaces@gmail.com.
Email. Right. It's like email capture. What is that? Right. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that is interesting to
yeah.
understand because it's a whole new way of doing business now.
Yes, it is.
That it's
Yes, it is. It's a
all
whole new way of doing
have
business.
to do the whole
Yeah,
online social
yeah.
media way of doing things.
Right.
And man, it's
That's a
something
whole new way. It's a whole new way. And I just I learned all of this during the pandemic. Learned all of these marketing techniques.
Mm-hmm. We talk about that. I talk about so many sad things happen. People die. People don't have homes and jobs, and then we want to look at, well, what other side? What's the other side of that? You know, we could talk. We could feel like the sadness and the loss, but the other side of the pandemic, some great things happen because you were able to have the time. We had to sit down for a moment and really take stock.
I was actually grateful for the pandemic. Not the pandemic. Not the pandemic. I was grateful to sit down.
Right. What it had you do, sit down. Right. Exactly.
Right. I was grateful for the time with my family. I was grateful for the time of all the things that I began learning. And it was just a moment to actually say, how do I want my life to go now?
It really was.
Yeah.
I really die, really, you were like, oh, it becomes so much real when, you know, people close to you, and a lot of them, like the pandemic did, a lot of them at the same time. It was for me. And I always have lived my life, but it made it like very clear.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. Do the thing. Don't say, oh, when I retire, I'm going to do this. Or when I have this, I'm going to do this. It became very clear to get present about the things that you want to do and do them now.
That's right.
That came out of the pandemic for me, you know. Being present. So
being present and grateful.
Yeah, those are big.
Being present and being grateful.
Yep. So you know, the show is about spiritual conversations also, because what I want people to look at spirituality in a practical way. How can we use spirituality in our everyday life? Like, what does it really mean? How does it work?
I don't know any other way.
And I talk about
every morning I wake up about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I'm like, God, you want to talk now? Right now? I am, you know, when I wake up like that, I just start saying, I am so grateful for, and just continue a whole list. I am so grateful for, I'm so grateful for, I'm so grateful for. And I am so, you know, until I fall back to sleep. I just continue to say that. And I wake up and I say things like, my intention for today is to create abundance, create joy, create support. And so I am intentional every day. Intentional every day. I've been really focused on self-care. I'm not a doctor's kind of person. I've been at the doctor's for the past 2 weeks, and my husband is like, what's going on? I'm like, listen, self-care. Self-care is a divine responsibility.
Exactly.
I got to take care of myself. And so I found out why I used to always cough. Thank God. I found out I had reflux. Who knew? And so I figured that out. Well, not I figured it out, but I've gone to the doctors and I got the medication needed to, you know, stop all the coughing I was doing. I was coughing for like, several years. And so in my conversation with God, and I'm so grateful for, I always say I'm grateful for the healing of my body. I am so grateful for my healthy body. And so in doing that, you still have to be responsible. Right. So I set the intention to be responsible. And so in that I am intentional about being healthy and self-care being a divine responsibility, because I want to enjoy my abundance. I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy my children when they get married and enjoy my grandchildren. So we got to take care of ourselves now.
What was your spiritual journey like for you? You grew up in the church, or What was that like? How did it go for you?
Yes, I grew up in the church under Christianity,
Mm,
and I experienced this. It was unfortunate.
mm.
Something had happened with my grandfather in the church, and I walked away from the church.
Oh, okay.
I walked away
Mhm,
from the church, and although I had my own spirituality with God, I did not enter the church again.
mhm,
And so, with that, I had been exploring,
mhm.
and I found myself doing Buddhism as
Okay.
well. So,
Mm,
um, I do Buddhism and talk to God. I'm very
mhm.
comfortable in that.
A combination of
Yeah.
both, right? That's really good. So,
Yeah.
I know you have like young adult kids. What happened with them during COVID? Do you have some moments you can remember? How did they handle it, and how do you
They were
support
fine.
them?
They were fine.
They were fine. It didn't really impact them.
No, because my son, his studio, he's not, he's in his area, in the building he's in. And so if he had to work with somebody, they had their booth and he's out in the engineering room. So, he just stayed working. He was fine. My daughter
Mm,
was home. And we enjoy each other. So
mhm.
they were
So
fine.
you guys had that time together.
Yeah, yeah. It was great having that time with them. Yeah. Because prior to that,
Mhm.
they were always out, right? Always partying with their
Oh,
friends and, where you going? So it was
mhm,
great, just having them. And it was like we all had to get to know each other again.
mm,
We all
mhm,
had to get to know
mhm,
each other again. So it was cool. And so I loved making dinner when I did. We just had Sunday dinner. And it's just
mhm.
really, nice that, we can sit around the table and have a nice conversation.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's what we did say. Families came together during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
People were able to be
Yeah.
with their kids. Also it was interesting. We think about families came together. I also think about mothers and fathers who had to become teachers all of a sudden with their little kids at home. So there was a
Hmm.
lot of shift in everything. And it just brings to mind, too, when we talk about self care, all the mental health things that are going on. And I look at programs like yours and really want to promote them to let people know that there is a place to go where
Yeah.
you can find support, where you can build your own business, where you can get ideas and be with like minded women. I
Yeah.
love the whole idea of creating these communities of
Hmm.
like-minded people,
And
right?
that was one of my main prayers. God, I just want people around me that
Mhm,
want to see me succeed, that want
mhm,
that don't mind my shine.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
I
mhm,
Because I am always one to support someone. And so I wanted the same.
mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
I prayed for people and I have it. I got a community, I got a tribe that is so awesome. I got a
That's
tribe that
really
is so awesome.
mhm.
So let me see. Nope, I'm not going to list names. I would need a long sheet of paper. I wouldn't want to leave anybody out.
Right,
I got, I got a great group of women around me, and I would need my piece of paper so that
mhm.
I don't leave anybody out. But I am so grateful for those women, and you know who you are. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's really cool. It's like it's really nice to know that you have that support.
Yeah,
I wanted to shift to talk about your leadership. You said that you create leaders, right? So, what does
absolutely.
that look like, and what does leadership mean to you, and what does that look like? Your
Well,
process.
leadership is understanding that you are not just who you are being, right? You can always create. And so in your creation, I'm showing you, um, yes, you do this, but you can also do this. And here's how.
Okay.
Okay. We go in depth about forgiveness, letting go, allowing yourself grace, setting the intentions to keep it moving, the Kim method. It's so important. I mean, because using this method, and I play on it because my name is Kim, but it
I
is
know, that's why I say, what is the Kim method?
but
Right?
it's about
The
keeping
Kim
it
is
moving, right? How do we keep it
keeping it
moving? Right? We got to keep it moving. We can't hold on to, what people say to us or done to us. Because honestly, I can't take that personal. I don't know what their story is, right? We all have a story. And so when people feel like they're being attacked, please don't take it personal. That person is going through something, and we don't always know, but understand that you get to keep it moving.
Okay.
And so, more importantly, how I get my leaders to be leaders is to understand those 4 concepts. That's so important to, forgive and let go, allow yourself grace, set the intentions to keep it moving. I use that in every relationship, work, romance, with girlfriends. I use that in all realms of my life.
So the
Job.
Kim method, right? Okay, great. Keep it moving. Right?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
how you keep it moving. That's how you keep it moving.
You forgive, grace, right? I'm trying to
Forgive and let go. Forgive and let go.
Right?
Allow yourself grace.
Allow yourself grace.
Set the intentions.
Set the intentions. And keep it
moving.
Okay, right. I love it. I love it.
Right.
And you know what? What's really cool about it too is there's action in each one of those.
That's right.
Right. So through each step, there are some actions that you get to take, right? In this Kim method, right?
That's so funny you asked that. I just wrote those down. In your forgiveness, the action in that is acknowledging that it's not personal. Right?
Okay.
Understanding that it's not about me. Put your ego in your pocket. Put your ego in your pocket. And letting go, understanding that everyone has a story. You either let that story go and create another one. Right? And allow myself grace. I take responsibility. I first take responsibility and understanding that I can learn something from this experience. And understanding that I can learn something from this experience, I give myself permission to create anew. Okay. And then set the intentions, write it down. What am I creating today? What am I creating today? Yeah, that was a great question. Thank you. Yeah.
It's really cool because I know setting intentions is a powerful
it is.
and making declarations, right? I declare is the most powerful words you can say, right? And setting an intention, right?
Yeah.
Saying what it is, right?
Exactly. And so in saying yes to you, right, in that program with me and Dr. Shanna, we're saying, create those declarations, create those intentions after you understood now what it is that you're here for, now that you've let all that stuff go.
And getting back to that whole purpose,
Right. It's so important. It's so important that you understand that you were born on purpose for a purpose. We are all here on purpose for a purpose.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure people that come to your sessions will walk away right with a lot of great things. And when I introduced you, I was like, "Oh, she's doing so much." So now, tell me, let's talk about this book that you're writing.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So much, right?
So I've been writing this book for about 2 years. And again, I coach to myself when I say, don't try to do it by yourself, because I tried doing it by myself, and I have support. And we look to finish the book by the end of June. And what she's offering me is something I really needed and prayed to have someone support me with. And so I've already written out my ideas. I've already written out what's the definition of, the different categories that are important in this. And so she's breaking it down for me and creating the outline so that people will be encouraged to read certain sections and relate and connect with. And so this year it's coming out. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited to have it happen finally. So it's been about two years now. I've had people call me, come to their house. Kim, let's get this book out. It's coming. It's coming, because I know it'll save somebody's life. I know it'll save somebody's marriage. I know it'll save somebody's job. I know it'll save somebody's relationship with their children, with their siblings. And so
is it a mystery? What's the name of the book? What is it about? I'm just sitting here going, okay, is she going to get to...
So I have the name. I have a name.
I'm like sitting up here. I'm anticipating your next work. Okay, good, Nettie. It is called...
I'm changing the name now. Me and Dr. Sunrise, we may consider changing the name. We're working on some things. And so we're not confirming the name yet.
Okay, great. But it's about what? Your business? Because you said that.
No, the book is about the strategies we discussed.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to get to. Right?
Okay, no, it's about the strategies we discussed.
Because you said it could save somebody. I went everywhere. I was like, okay, so this book can save somebody, right?
No, we haven't.
Okay, the book is directly related to the master class, and it's related to Kim. I'm gonna use your acronym.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely about strategies to KIM and how it can help you in all the relationships in your life.
Okay.
So I just haven't confirmed the final name.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I think I don't necessarily need the name if I knew. I thought we'd have moved on to healing people and saving them, right?
I think with my strategies, it can get to a point where somebody's healing themselves. That's the whole goal. Like you've been hurting about something that happened as a child. And on behalf of the planet, I am very sorry. Something horrific happened to someone that I can't even talk about. On behalf of the planet, I'm so sorry.
Right.
But you still get to create a new story. You still get to create a new story and set intentions. My sister, Tona Buck, she's also on Facebook. She was a victim to a survivor to an advocate. And so I just admire that about her. And, she was molested as a child. And now she is, always being an advocate and creating ways for young women or older women to also become advocates, showing them that, yes, you can create a new story so that you can keep it moving. So even in situations like that, understand strategies to KIM will get you through it.
Strategies. I love it, right?
Mhm.
Um, so we're always looking for different strategies and different ways, that we can just live life better. What I like also is the fact that creativity is involved,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And how we are tapping into our creativity. And even throughout with this whole wave of becoming entrepreneurs, I see people really tapping into their creativity, even people who may have just made desserts for the family are now creating
Right. And
desserts.
that's what I want to, show women that
Mhm.
listen, you are more than just, right? You can create. And
But
so that's where the purpose to profits come in. I know
mhm,
a couple artists and I've reached
mhm,
out to them behind the scenes and I'm like, you want to make that into a wallpaper? Let's make it happen.
right. Mhm,
Hey, listen,
mhm,
you can have a master class on licensing and uh what is it when royalties,
mhm,
in
mhm,
regards to the artistry. And so
mhm,
that sparked fire, pilot light coaching, igniting your fire. And
mhm,
so I know how to say, hey, why don't have you thought about this? And gives them an idea and initiates a thought process. Oh, well, maybe I
mhm,
can do this. I just
mhm.
got acknowledged in a book. I just received
Right.
a book. I just received a book from a friend, Valerie Wright. She just finished her book, I
Mhm,
Forgave God. And she acknowledged me in her book. She says, Kim, you said something so powerful to me that ignited me to finish my book. When you told me
mm,
it was not about me and I could save someone's life, I couldn't stop writing. And I got received her book last week and
mhm.
I read it in 2 days.
Right. Yeah, it is interesting how we don't know. I always think about we don't know the impact that we're always having on people in the words, in the things that
That's
we
right.
say.
That's right.
Sometimes we're looking for like the big impact
Right.
or like waiting for the big thing when everything that we do is if we only have one person, if you can impact a person, and we're never knowing when we're doing that, if we're always
No. That's what's so amazing. You just never know. So in my intention, I am always intentional about speaking life over you
mhm.
and making sure you are speaking life over your life.
Right, exactly. Mhm,
That
mhm,
is so important.
mhm.
Um, a
I like
woman,
even in your pilot like coaching. I was like, you have these great acronyms that all come together. I mean, even the name pilot like coaching, igniting your light or your flame, right?
you're right, igniting your fire
Right.
to lit, right.
Yeah. Right.
My my girlfriend Carol calls me the bumper sticker conversationalist because I'm always spitting out like little things. I'll say something like we're born on purpose for a purpose. That's a bumper
Right,
sticker.
and right at the appropriate moment, it just lands
Yep,
properly,
it just
right?
lands. Right. It
Right.
just lands.
So,
Hey, I'm a bumper sticker conversationalist. I'm okay with
yeah,
that.
yeah, I love that purpose to profits too, because we don't always know how to put dollars on our purpose.
Right.
That is right.
And so I show a
Right.
portion of my masterclass,
Mhm.
the meaning of value. You know,
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
as a hairstylist, I've learned this very well, right? Um,
Mhm.
there have been times clients have said, Kim is too expensive, da 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 da, right? And so
Mhm.
I have to always remember your value is not my value, right? I've taken courses, I've completed a course to get my license, completed courses to advance my training, and to do all the great things I do with hair, right? And so what you think should be this cost did not cost me this over the years of my training, right? And so what you think value is does not have to be my value, right? And so there's a price for every client, and I'm okay with that. It's okay.
That's really good, Kim. You have some really, really great components to the strategies for KIN.
Yeah, so value is one of the biggest conversations we have in my course, because people need to understand what you have. You are an expert at what you do. No one can do what you do. And so you get to value that.
And when you value it, then you can then put a price to it, right?
That's right. That's
exactly.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I really love that.
Even like I have a couple students who I gave, I said, hey, this is how much it'll cost. It's very nominal, but you have to put value for someone to appreciate what it is.
Yeah. That's really, 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 really powerful. And I think just that will attract a lot of people to your program, right? Too, because so many people struggle with putting that value. And I like that little phrase, purpose, profit, right? And being able to do that, that's really good. So you have so many great components to your program and all the things that you're doing. I'm really excited about what's next for you. So why don't you, the last thing I ask people, because I talk about the spiritual toolkit, and the spiritual toolkit is very personal. Is what spiritual practices support you. Each one of us, we have all of our own personal ones, and there's just so many practices. I know you talked about a couple of yours, but I would like you to talk about your top 3, right? And so maybe somebody could use them in their spiritual toolkit.
When you wake up at 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning,
right,
just know it's time to sit there and be grateful. It's just that simple.
Okay, gratitude, right?
Gratitude is so important.
Okay.
And be present. Be present. Be grateful for the things that you want as if it is. Another bumper sticker.
He's like, I'm making bumper stickers, right?
It's so important to be grateful for the things that you want as if it is.
Act as though you already have it, right? And that, we always hear that too,
Yeah.
Also, like, if you can't see it, you can't have it. Being able to visualize and knowing, right, that you can have it. I like all of that. It just brings to mind all the principles around how you're going to live your life. All the principles around everything comes from you. I own everything. And the hardest thing, everything that happens, I take full responsibility from the point of why did I attract that? And not in a negative way. What I've learned the most is not to judge myself. One of the things that has been the best thing ever is to not judge myself. So that's
really allowing yourself grace, right?
Yeah.
That's where allowing yourself grace
That's
comes
where that is, right? Because then you can look at anything you've done and you can look at anything and say, oh, wow, I did that, and just laugh about it and go on.
And that's why I address my public. Hey, beautiful people, right? God made us all and he didn't make any mistakes. Right? So I'm always, hey, beautiful people.
Exactly.
Right? I just, I feel like I see you through the eyes of God. And so everybody is beautiful for me.
Right. There is something about looking at everyone as if they are God. And if you see the God in everyone, right, it's the same as you looking out. Yeah, well, it's been like really, really great having the conversations. Tell people how they can get in touch with you, Miss.
So you can go to Instagram. You can go to Instagram. That's Kimberly Givens. Well, on Instagram, it's Pilot Light Coaching on Instagram, and Pilot Light Coaching on Facebook. Sultry Kimmy on Facebook, and Pilot Light Coaching at Gmail.
Sounds really good. So it's been really great having you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I gotta go find my dress. I haven't seen my dress in a while. Do you have it?
Go look her up and take all the classes. So thank you for being here tonight. And we're gonna look for that book, that class, and everything.
Yes, all that is coming soon.
All right. So have a
Thank you so much, Grenetta. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight for Conversations with Reverend G. And I'm here every Monday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on WEMS Radio, hoping that I can bring you joy and have you live your best life with grace and ease. Today, Kim gave us so much, but one of the things that stand out for me when I think about a mindful moment is really around saying yes to yourself. And that's very powerful, because when you say yes to yourself, then it really, really supports you in saying yes to others. So keep that in mind. It's the yes and rather than anything other than yes, right? And stepping out there and being your best self. You can find me on Instagram as Rev Grenetta, on Facebook and YouTube as Reverend Grenetta Mason. Have a great, great week, and I will see you next Monday night on Conversations with Reverend G right here on WEMS Radio.